They lived prayerful lives, but suffered violent deaths inside a South Carolina church.
Any death of this sort is a tragedy.
He just said, I have to do it.
9 people killed, and this 21-year-old is accused of opening fire in an act of hate.
And in this case, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that it is a hate crime.
Now we are learning more about the victims as the community searches for answers. It is a story that's hitting close to home, and in moments we'll take you to a prayer vigil held right here in Central Florida. Good evening, I'm Marla Weech. Our coverage on this tragedy continues right after a check of your weather on the One's forecast. Now, the latest this hour on the deadly church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. The suspect, 21-year-old Dylan Roth, was brought back to Charleston from Shelby, North Carolina, where a tip led to his arrest Thursday morning. We are learning about the victims who were gunned down during last night's prayer vigil. And there are prayer vigils around the nation to remember those victims, 9 in all. We'll take you to one vigil in Brevard County led by a pastor with personal ties to the church in Charleston. But first, the latest on the investigation into what is being called a hate crime and whether suspect Dylan Roth acted alone. Investigators say it is not clear if Dylan Roth had any connection to white supremacist groups or other hate groups, but they are looking into his background to see if he may have had help in carrying out what is being investigated as a hate crime.
I mean, we'll do search warrants, we'll do interviews, we'll go back and try to put together why this might have happened.
Police say Roth spent an hour in the Bible study class at the Emmanuel AME Church Wednesday evening before he stood up and reportedly said he was there, in his words, to shoot black people. Authorities say he opened fire, ending the lives of 9 church members. Among them was the church's pastor, the Reverend Clementa Pinckney, who was also a state senator. The other victims ranged in age from 26 to 87, and many were respected members of the community, a dedicated librarian, a speech therapist, and another reverend at the church. 3 people survived the shooting, including a 5-year-old girl.
I admire that child's, survival instincts to say, I'm going to play dead to hope that this devil of a human being doesn't shoot me, but just absolute mayhem. And you can only imagine what that child must be thinking today.
Roth reportedly had a chilling message for another survivor, telling her, quote, "I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to spare you so you can tell them what happened," end quote. But the reason behind what happened is still not clear. In his statement about the tragedy Thursday, President Barack Obama made a point to talk about gun control.
We don't have all the facts, but we do know that, once again, innocent people were killed in part because someone who wanted to inflict harm had no trouble getting their hands on a gun.
Investigators say Roth's father bought him a .45 caliber gun when he turned 21 in April, but right now it is not clear if that is the gun used in the deadly shooting.